The seeds of Young Man with Camera are rooted in the work of photographer Diane Arbus. She was born in 1923 and initially carved out a career as a fashion photographer. But she slowly migrated towards the edges of society, if you will, taking pictures of people who would be considered off, marginalized, and I found her black and white photographs very compelling. And I asked myself, what type of 13-year-old would be drawn to these type of photographs? And that led me to a character named T. And in Young Man with Camera, it's T with a dash. We never learn his entire name because even his name became a weapon of sorts by kids who would tease him. Here's T describing one of Diane Arbus's photographs. The dwarf is sitting on a bed. He's got a big wide smile that looks even bigger and wider because of this thin mustache that seems like it's been drawn on with a marker. He's wearing a hat, the kind of hat that men wore a million years ago when men wore hats to work. He's leaning against a night table and you can see a bottle of liquor to one side. His head is too big for his body, but his body doesn't seem to mind. One foot sticks out from beneath a towel that covers him from the waist down. He must have eaten grief at least once a day, because you can't be a dwarf and not eat grief. But he must have finished his helping of grief long before Diane Arbus took his picture, because he looks happy. Now that I had the who, 13-year-old T, the protagonist of Young Man with Camera, I needed a why. Why did he feel like an outcast? Why did he feel that he was pushed to the margins? When he was 6 years old, he wanted to spell Tyrannosaurus Rex for his parents using noodles from alphabet soup. He leans over the stove to scoop up the letters from a pot on the back of the stove, not knowing that there was a front burner that was still on where there was some applesauce that was simmering. His shirt catches on fire and he is soon in flames, leading to terrible facial burns and skin that looks like leather. Well, it's not long before kids at school, they just pounce on him, calling him mutant and alien, and he once again finds himself on the margins. His parents give him a camera to help him navigate this new world where he's feeling very isolated and alone. So he's back on the margins, but with a very different perspective, because now he's holding a camera in his hand. And through his photographs, he reveals that there's more to see than meets the eye. We often don't give second thought to first impressions, and so we miss the larger context. Early in the novel, T, the young protagonist, influenced by the work of photographer Diane Arbus, takes a photograph of a young girl in front of a pet store. I took it in front of the pet palace. The girl's mother kept telling her to smile, smile, but the smile looked rehearsed. A minute after I took the picture, the woman poked the plastic bag with her finger. How long will this one last before it's flushed down the toilet? The girl burst into tears. This theme of getting the whole picture is at the heart of Young Man with Camera.